Hi folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, something a little different. These are preview books, The Making of Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. There are two. One of them deals with races and classes, and the other one deals with monsters and worlds. 4th edition is coming out about midway to mid-late 2008. There's a lot of Sturm und Drang about 4th edition. Oh my god, it's going to be great. Oh my god, it's going to be awful. Well, you know, they just came out with 3.5 several years ago, and now they got to come out with 4th edition. They'll have 4.5 in 6 months. Why are they doing this? No. Folks, I think this is going to be another version of Dungeons & Dragons. Reading through here, they give you nothing mechanical to chew on. They don't say, well, elves are going to have this bonus now, or dragons will have this. What they give you in this, and what I find most valuable in these, is it kind of gives you a what's going on in a designer's head, or what's going on to revamp something. And in my opinion, I kind of like what I see they're doing here, because from what I can tell, it feels like they're moving away from Tolkien a little bit. I've always really, it's been pretty obvious, Dungeons & Dragons has been pretty tied into Tolkien. Here they're moving away from it. They're introducing, or they're actually making some of the, what were second string races, main races now. Dragonkin, or the Dragonborn, or the offspring of humans and dragons. Tieflings are now in the main fold. Am I nuts about that? Not really. I'm kind of a classicist. They've done away with gnomes, which at first I was like, what? They did away with gnomes? They can't do that. But then, how many people actually play gnomes? And play gnomes a lot. I've played a gnome once in almost 30 years, and I did it to prove a point, and he only lasted for 3 adventures because I got bored with him. And I wanted to play a half-elf anyway. So, these books, I'm not going to lie, I think Worlds and Monsters is a better book than Races and Classes. There's a lot of accusation that these were just opportunities to make money. Well, folks, they're a business. They're going to look for opportunities to make money. I personally like these because they, like I said, they gave me an eye into kind of what's going into the thought process of making 4th edition. This has given me more promise for 4th edition than I had before I read them. Before it, I was like, yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be that into this game. I'll probably just move on a little bit and look at it and not ever run it. I'm kind of interested in it now. One of the things I like is how they're making monsters a bit more potent. They're taking away some of the strictures that come with monsters, like metallic dragons are always good, chromatic dragons are always evil. They're sort of blending that a little bit, making the dragons more about things other than good or evil. One of the things I'm of mixed mind with is it seems like they're predetermining that levels 1 through 10 you're dungeon crawling, levels 11 through 20 you're wilderness campaigning and on the world as a whole, levels 20 through 30 you're off playing doing grand things. I know a given game master can change that, affect it, monkey with it, but I'm just not sure how that will work. The thing I'm not liking is that there seems to be a very significant for-pay online component to this game that while you don't have to have, my concern is that future supplements are going to require you to have that knowledge to effectively run the game. I'm not loving that idea. But again, because of this, I'm going to withhold judgment and see what 4th edition looks like. I have more hope for it now than I did before. These two books are readily available. Like I said, I found Worlds and Monsters to be more useful than Races and Classes, but I was also really into seeing how they subdivided up the planes and how the whole building the world worked different. I liked that quite a bit. So, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us at knwiegel@yahoo.com. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.